Hello everyone. All right, we're going to be going over 6.7 today. We're going to be doing common fractions, adding mixed numbers with unrelated denominators, or composing whole numbers. So we're going to be taking mixed numbers to make whole numbers, and we're going to be using unrelated denominators, which means, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to be changing both fractions. And I hope you guys are familiar with that term, because we've used it in at least 2 other lessons before this. All right, so let's get started. How would you calculate the total of these two amounts? So if we wanted to take this and make it and add them together, how would we do that? Well, the fractional part of both numbers has to be rewritten before you can add. Now, fractional part means this part and this part. It means little fractions in the whole number. So the wholes are 1, oh, but I covered up the 1 a little bit, and 1. Okay, so what denominator do these two fractions have in common? Remember, when we're working with unrelated denominators, we can just multiply the denominators together to get what they have in common. So 3 times 4 is 12. Okay, so write the missing numerators. Okay, so see here, they've already put the 12 here for us. So we're going to be changing 1 2/3 into 1 and something twelfths, and 1 3/4 into 1 and something twelfths. So to figure out what the numerator is, oh, 1 second, we're going to be changing 2/3 into twelfths and 3/4 into twelfths, because I'm just worried about the fractional part. I'm looking at the fraction in the mixed number. So 3 times 4 is 12, 2 times 4 is 8, 4 times 3 is 12, 3 times 3 is 9. All right, so then we're going to be adding all of these together. So, let's put 8 here, 8 and 9, because we changed this one into this one, that one into that one, okay? So how do you figure out the total? What mixed number would you write? So here, our little porcupine here. So I would add the whole numbers, then the fractions. That is 1 plus 1 plus 17 twelfths. The total is 3 and 15 twelfths. Well, let's figure out how she got here. So we took the whole numbers, 1 plus 1 plus 8 twelfths plus 9 twelfths, okay? So what we did here was we did the fraction part. Let's do the fraction part here. Plus 9 twelfths equals 17 twelfths, okay? And then we have our 1 plus 1, which is 2. Now, I can't write my answer. I can't write my answer as 2 and 17 twelfths, because 17 twelfths, look, my numerator is bigger than my denominator. That means I have a whole number hiding in there. So I actually have 3 instead of 2, because look, our porcupine, she said 3. So how did she get 3 and 5 twelfths? Well, she took the whole number out. And we know that a whole number, when we are talking about fractions, a whole number is when the denominator and the numerator are the same. That's a whole. So I have at least 12 over 12 in here. So if I take 12 out of my 17, what's left? Well, 17 minus 5, or I'm sorry, 17 minus 12 is 5, okay? Because I'm taking this 12 from the 17 because I'm taking the whole number out. So now I've got 3, because 2 plus 1, okay? So 2 plus 1 is 3, and then I have 5 twelfths left over. So that's how she got from 1 plus 1 plus 17 twelfths to 3 and 15 twelfths. So what mixed number would you write? We'd write that one, okay? Okay. Write an equation to add these two fractions. Try to calculate the total in your head. Ooh, so when we try to calculate the total in our head, what are we doing? We are estimating. Okay, we're estimating. We love estimating. That makes our brain, when we struggle with our brain, that makes us get stronger. Alrighty. So let's look at this one. So we know we're going to have at least 4, right? Because 1 plus 3 is 4. So that could be first. And then we need to add 3/5 and 1/2. Okay, so let's look at that. 3/5 plus 1/2. Now, when you're thinking about adding fractions, I want you guys to visualize 1/5 and 1/2. Okay, so look, we have 1/2, and then we're going to be using 3/5. So you're going to try to figure out how close to a whole. Here, let's move this down. All right, how close to a whole are these fractions going to get? Because remember, I'm going to have 3 of these fifths, and I only have 1/2. So how close to a whole am I going to get? So what I want you to do is think about how big these little fractions are, and I want you to put what you think it's going to be, and then go ahead and solve it and see how close you are. All right, I want to see your estimate, and then I want to see your total, like your exact answer, what it exactly is. So estimation and then exact answer. Let's go ahead and move down here. All right, for each of these, rewrite the mixed numbers so the fractions have the same denominator. Then show how you add to calculate the total. So what you're going to do is you're going to be rewriting the mixed numbers so that they have the same denominator. And since they're unrelated, there's a little reminder of what we're going to do, okay? We're going to be changing these so that they're equivalent or the same denominator, okay? So I'm going to let you guys do that on your own because we've gone over this quite a bit in the other 3 lessons, and I think you guys can get through this on your own. But if you have any questions, you just save those up till we meet, and I would love to help you guys with that, okay? Let's get on to our next page. So calculate each total and show your thinking. So this part right here, this is exactly what we did over here, okay? But it looks like we've got, it looks like, oh, we could even change these into improper fractions. I'd rather you guys use there we go. Now you can see. You guys can either change these into improper fractions and add them, but I prefer that you guys use mixed numbers because I really want you guys to get this way of adding fractions down. So on this part, you're going to be doing the same thing. We're going to be changing the denominators. So it looks like we've got 6 times 4. Oh, and look over here. Okay, so let's talk about this one actually. I like that I looked at this one real quick. So now this one is not unrelated. And let me tell you why. 6 can go into 24 evenly. See, because over here, 6 can't go into 4 evenly and 4 can't go into 6 evenly. But look, 6 can go into 24 evenly. So this one, these are related denominators, which means that we only need to change one. So I want you guys to think about which one you could change to add these together, okay? Because remember, 6 can go into 24 evenly. All right, let's look down here. All right, so look, we're gonna estimate again. I know how much you guys love estimating. Alrighty, estimate, then solve each problem. Show your thinking. So a wand has 2 lengths of lumber. One piece is 2.5 yards long and another is 3/4 yards long. He needs a total of 4 1/3 yards. What length of lumber does he need to buy? Alrighty, so we need to figure out what length of lumber he has, and we need to figure out how much he'll need to buy to get to here. So let's see, we're going to be doing 2 1/2 plus 3/4. Okay, and then, and then we're going to need to figure out how far away we are from 4 1/3, because that's our total. That's what we want. Okay, so let's look at this. If we are going to add these together, let's see. I know that it's going to be at least 2, because I have a whole number 2. When I think about a half, I know that when I have 2/4, that's half of 4. If I have 2/4, that's about half. So if I'm thinking about it, I'm probably going to need 3 yards because I have 2. And if I added a half plus 3/4, that's almost a whole. It's going to be a little bit more than a whole because 3/4 is just 1/4 over half, if that makes sense. I'm going to show you guys my thinking. Because if we look here, 1/2 and 2/4 are the same amount. It's just written as a different fraction. And here he has 3/4. So look, it's a little bit over a half. So if I added these together, that would be 1, right? Okay. And then I have a little 4th left over. So that's probably going to be about 1 together, these fractions together. So I'm going to estimate mine that he's going to have 3 yards, and then he'll need to get 1 1/3 yards. So I'm going to say 3 yards is my estimate of how many he has. I want you guys to go ahead and put your estimates up here above it, and then I want you to get the exact answer and go ahead and put it here. And hey, remember, this is the question that you need to be answering at the end. Okay? You're going to see what length of number does he need to buy. That's what you're going to be putting in these squares here. Like down here, how much rice is being cooked in total? Right there. All right. Always make sure that before you're done, you look at what the question is asking, because sometimes you might forget a step or you might put the wrong answer here. So think about that before you go. All right, this one, last part. Write different mixed numbers to make each equation true. Make the denominators of the fractions different and show your thinking on page 232. So if you're just printing these out, just go ahead and get a piece of scratch paper so that you're able to work this out, because there's not a whole lot of space down here to work. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be sticking mixed numbers in here with different denominators to get to 6. And we're going to be using 3 different mixed numbers. So I don't really want to give you guys too much, because I'd love for you guys to stretch your brain and struggle with this and figure out what you need to do this. But I'll give you a hint. So you're going to have a whole number here. Okay. And then you're going to have a fraction here. So for instance, you could have 2 1/4, and then maybe put something here and something here to get 6. And hey, keep in mind that this is a whole number. There's no fractions. So your fractions, if they're all added together, could equal 1. Okay, but remember, they need to have different denominators. So you could have 2 1/4, something in 1/2, and then some, like a whole number, and then another fraction there. So go ahead and do your best on this. I know this is going to be a struggle, but you guys can do it. I know you can do it. You are totally capable. But if you have any questions about this, go ahead and just do your best attempt, and then we will work through it together when we meet on Google Meets, or if we are able to meet face to face. Anyway, you guys do your best. I really hope that we're able to see each other next week face to face, because I miss seeing y'all's faces and being able to talk to you. So just have a great week, have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you soon. Bye.